Hey family, Eve here. So family, the video today that I'm going to do or create, I'm going to title it Denzel's Deception Driven Elsewhere. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So family, like I said, today, this video, I'm going to title it Denzel's Deception Driven Elsewhere. And it's going to be based on his third movie. Like all the other movies that I made videos on or I recorded videos on, is to show you how that movie that movie affects the things that our people, the so-called African Americans or so-called black people, also known as the children of Israel in the Bible, what we went through during our time in captivity. So this movie right here, I'm going to show you what some things that we went through, or how things were set up for us in this country through this movie. Yeah. So let's get started. So this is Denzel's third movie, and it's titled Saint Elsewhere. It was a television series called Saint Elsewhere. It broadcasted, or it stayed on air from 1982 to 1988. That's 6 years. What number is that? The number of the beast. This is the TV series that actually put Denzel on the map and launched his career as a television or it was a television series called Saint Elsewhere. Denzel played the role of Dr. Philip Chandler on the NBC medical drama. NBC stands for National Broadcasting Company. But I want to show you guys where I said, where it says this is the show, this is the series that launched his career, or put Denzel on the map. Now the map is also called an atlas, and I want to show you guys what an atlas is, who Atlas was. And a lot of times in my videos, I always break down certain words, and I use the Greek deity or Greek god or goddess to show you that when I mention those deities and those gods and goddesses, that I'm talking about the people who ruled over us at this time. Those were the gods that they served. So, and they had us serving their gods. So when I say this is the series that actually put Denzel on the map, map is another name for Atlas. Atlas was the Greek god who was cursed by Zeus into carrying the world on his shoulders. And you probably see that image, or that image a lot on stuff, like especially when it comes to Greek deities. So that's symbolic for Denzel carrying the weight of the entertainment world on his shoulders, where so many people admired him, and he became known as one of the best actors of all times. That's what launched his. I mean, that's why I say he's symbolic for carrying the weight of the entertainment world on his shoulder. And also too that because he was widely known, and says, so I say the phrase carrying the phrase actually put him on the map is saying he's truly serving the devil now, meaning his career is really getting ready to take off. And Atlas, the Greek god that was cursed to carry the world on his shoulder. I told you guys that's symbolic of Denzel carrying the weight of the entertainment world on his shoulder. He would be the one to bring and get other actors and actresses to they're helping them to get their careers started. The movie Saint Elsewhere. Saint Elsewhere is I made it known the title Saint Elsewhere is because we were known as God's saints. The people that they held in captivity, the children of Israel that they held in captivity here, are known as the saints of God. In the movie Elsewhere, the part of the title Elsewhere is symbolic for us being scattered all over the world, elsewhere in other places that we were not familiar with. So that's why I say Saint Elsewhere. That's why it's named Saint Elsewhere, because God's saints was moved everywhere, all over the map, atlas. They was moved all over the map. So so the book of Genesis 15:13 says, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So God is saying right there, his saints will be moved to a land, or taken to a land that's not theirs, and they will be afflicted. That's elsewhere. And then two, that's also symbolic for us serving other gods and deities. Like I just read you those deities serving other gods. And that's elsewhere. We're not with him. We're elsewhere serving other gods instead of our own God, him. The book of Daniel 7:25 says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hands, until a time and times and a dividing of times. So right there, when he say we shall be, they shall wear us out. They gonna wear us out. We gonna be wore out from all the bondage, the slavery, the beating down, the lynching, the dragging, the hangings, the killing, all the things that they gonna do to us. They gonna wear us out. Even the work and the amount of work we gonna put into this place, how this place is gonna be built up off the backs of our people, that's wearing us out. He said right there, they're gonna wear out the saints of the Most High. They're gonna blaspheme his name and speak words against him. And they're gonna do it from time and time and dividing the time. See, he's saying that it's a length of time that we gonna be in there, we gonna be in captivity up under them. And he also says that 26 says, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion and consume and destroy it until the end. Saying that they're gonna darn near destroy us until the end of our time. When our time is up, we're gonna almost be destroyed. They're gonna have dominion over us. They're gonna consume us. They're gonna consume us because we're gonna wind up doing up all the things that they do that we're not familiar with. Like we're gonna take on all the ways of these people. That's what he's saying when they gonna consume us. We're gonna be consumed by these people because everything we do is not gonna be our way, or it's not gonna be the way of the Most High. It's gonna be their way. And to the end, 400 years. That's the time our captivity will end, from 1619 to 2019. And that's also the end of Satan's time to his rulership. Because when we got ready to go into captivity, he had already done 600 years of his ruling. So that last 400 years that we were in slavery would be, when we come out, would be the end of his time, as well as the iniquity of the Gentiles, which also is mentioned in Genesis 15, 6, I'm going to say 13 through 16, right in there. So, yeah. And I also want to mention, when I said this is the TV series that launched his career. Launched is, I'm going to show you the deity. Her name was Helen. Helen was a Greek goddess, or a Greek deity known as the solar deity. She was also known as the deity. She was known as the goddess that her face launched 1,000 ships. So that's where I got the word launch from, because ships, we were traded by ships, and her face was the face that launched 1,000 ships, meaning that light, that symbolic for the lighthouses that drove the ships or guided the ships into port, or on the sea, guiding them on the sea. And that's also the time when they began to prosper. That's why it says her face launched 1,000 ships. Those ships, they prospered through those ships, through trading us as a people. She was what else? She was also known as the Greek goddess that the Trojan War was fought over. Troy, those are the Romans, the Greeks, the same people who held us in captivity. And her name, Helen, was also known as that time period when they prospered, or that was the era when Rome ruled. It was called a Hellenistic time period. So Denzel role, the reason I said he hit the role is, what does the word role mean? Role is a character assigned or taken on in a play or performance, a socially expected behavior pattern determined by an individual's status in society. So Denzel roles is in these movies, the roles he played in these movies, that, like I said, his role or his career would be symbolic for a lot of the things we went through in this country, or things that would happen to us. And he's socially expected behavior. So Denzel, being known as one of the best actors of all time, he was known to a lot of people, and his behavior, a lot of people looked up to him, and he was the one that helped a lot of actors and actresses or entertainment careers get started. Yeah. So yeah. So he in the movie he played, or in the series, his name was Dr. Philip Chandler. Philip means lover of horses. Philos Philos means lover. Hippos mean horses. Um, so that's symbolic for the role or of of the world, or everyone sees him or his role in society. So with his name in the book of Isaiah 31, it says 31:1 says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in their horses and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So right there he's saying that he don't go down to this place for help. He was telling us that we can't rely on these people because they are many. They great with their army. And the military, we know, was a dominant power here. They used the military, and it's considered their sword. They used it to rule over us and keep us in captivity and bondage. That's what they used. The police, the military, all of these things was used us to stay bound. Not, we had no rights. Only somebody had rights was the military. And we, like I said, through the birth certificate, we wasn't considered a people anyway, because we signed the birth certificate, it replaced us as a business. We were no longer a living person. We was replaced as a business through the birth certificate, and the birth certificate became our parents. And the last name Chandler means candle maker or candle seller of wax. So, or it means chandelier. Chandelier means light. And I want to say that kind of symbolic for us being God's chosen. Like we're the light, like light. We're considered light because we are the righteous. And it says candle maker. I just want to kind of believe that's saying that we took on the ways of these people. Candle makers, like that, wax deity, all of that kind of stuff like that is symbolic for witchcraft. Even hospitals is birthing babies in hospitals, because that's witchcraft, because we're not even supposed to allow these people to cut or do anything, especially during circumcision and that type of stuff. That's all symbolic for witchcraft. uh, in a few of my videos, I mentioned how the children of Israel, or the so-called black people, when we went into slavery, we were traded by ships by way of sea. So I'm going to show you different words that's used symbolically with doctors, hospitals, and all of these things. These words that had to do with trade, but they also had to do with hospital. And I created a video called Hospital, and that video you guys need to watch, because that video shows you that a hospital is not for the sake of healing or helping one to get better. It's actually a trap that's set up to destroy. And it's called, and I break it down: house pit all, a house that traps all that goes there. And ambulance is also symbolic for destroying us, because when you look on the tag of an ambulance, at the top it says hearse, and then it says ambulance, meaning a hearse, we know it's a car that carries the dead to and from the hospital to the what you call the place, funeral home. So that says in an ambulance, because it's a hearse, they don't consider you to arrive at the hospital alive. So yeah, so you guys have to pay attention to these things. And so I'm trying to give you details on these things, trying to show you how all of these things were set up to destroy us while we were in captivity. Okay, so like I said, when we went into slavery and traded by ships by way of sea, when the ships came into port, when they would have to doctor, that's Denzel role in this movie, dock. Like I said, it's all stems from the birth certificate and birthing in hospital. And we would have to go through the ports to dock, port, import, export, trade. The banks along the river, the banks, also known as the institution where they put their money, from where the money that they made and prospered off of our people. Through, they would have to go through canals is symbolic for birth canals, us being born, the mother birth canal. Cargo there, that's on the ships, the cargo that's on the ship is the actual slaves that's being traded. So Denzel career as a doctor is symbolic for slave trade. How symbolically him being a doctor, delivering babies, he delivering the children's souls to his father Satan. through the birth certificate and the mark of the beast. Yeah. So family, yeah, I just kind of wanted to break that movie down to you, showing you, like I said, everything in these movies that I'm breaking down is symbolic for something that the children of Israel went through during our time in captivity, or how things were set up against us. So family, with that being said, I thank you guys for viewing this video, and I'll see you on the next one.